Hello and welcome back to the Illinois Office of Minority Economic Empowerment and the Illinois Small Business Development Center Network's Business Basics series. So quickly, why Business Basics? First of all, this is a collaboration between the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment and the Small Business Development Center Network. So these two agencies are coming together to cover some of the basic topics that we often hear from entrepreneurs that they are curious about, that they could use help with clarification on in order to allow for them to be successful starting businesses here in the state of Illinois. So you'll find that in this series of videos, each one is short and sweet. You can rewatch it as many times as you like. Please, we encourage you to take notes as you watch, and we always will be uploading the slides that accompany the video so you can see for yourself the content that we're covering. So a little bit about the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment. I'm not going to read the whole slide, but we are an outreach office that is part of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. Our emphasis is on engaging and supporting minorities, women, veterans, and individuals with disabilities that are starting up businesses here in the state of Illinois. We want to help remove barriers, empower those individuals with information, and help to build capacity. And that's what this video here and this whole series is about. Specifically, this presentation we have here today from our dear brother Karim from the YWCA Metro Chicago Small Business Development Center. My brother Karim is going to be talking about the basics of a business plan. What is a business plan? Why do you need one? What's the purpose of having one? And we're going to get into the basics, very basics of having a business plan. So with that, I'm going to pass it to brother Karim.
Thank you very much, Matthew. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for the introduction. As you all know, entrepreneurs must have a business plan. Businesses must have a business plan. Your business plan is the foundation of your business. A good business plan guides you through managing your business. You're going to use your business plan as a roadmap for how to structure, run, and grow this new business or this startup, right? So business plans will give you assistance in finding funding or bringing on new partners. Of course, investors want to see a return on their investment. They want to know what you plan to do with that money they may invest in your company. Your business plan is a tool that you're going to use to convince people that working with you or investing in your company is a smart move, is a smart investment, right? So your business plan is a powerful document. It tells the story of your company, right? It's going to talk about your current position. It's going to talk about your vision. It's going to talk about how you see the future and what your plans are for realizing that future plan, right? The best business plans are going to answer the following questions. What is your business idea, or what is your existing business? Who are your existing or potential customers and what motivates them to buy from you? How will you let your customers know about your business? Who are your competitors? How are you different from them? How will you carry out the basic functions of your business? Is your management team capable of guiding your business to success? What is the long-range future of your business? What is your company's financial picture? How much money will it cost to run your business, and how much money will you make, right? These are key questions that a business plan should answer. So now let's talk about the elements of a business plan. We've got, and let me just be clear. When you write your business plan, you don't have to necessarily stick to one exact business plan template, right? You're going to use the sections that make the most sense for your business and your needs. So somebody may have a section that is relevant because they know they have powerful information to share. Another entrepreneur may not have those elements to share, and so that particular section they might leave out. Obviously, there are sections we don't want to leave out that are critical. And I think the sections that we have here are the most important, and there are others you can add. And certainly you can add graphs and charts and things of that nature, but these are the most necessary elements. We've got your executive summary, your company description, target market, competition, marketing and sales plan, operations, management structure, and your financials. Next slide, please. So let's start with the executive summary. The executive summary highlights the most important aspects of your business. It summarizes the key points of your business plan. Some people call it the single most important part of your business plan. It's going to highlight the most important facts, and it's going to let the reader know what you're about. Now, I like to compare an executive summary to a trailer in a movie. If the trailer is boring or not very interesting, or doesn't seem like the movie is well made, people may not be interested in watching the movie. And the same is true for your executive summary. If the executive summary is powerful, engaging, people are going to want to read that business plan. But an executive summary that is poorly written, doesn't seem to include the necessary information, doesn't seem to put together a coherent idea, that is a business plan that won't get read. And obviously we want our business plan to be the backbone of any future partnerships, investments, or opportunities. So the business plan has to be tight, and the executive summary is that trailer, is the introduction. And if it's poor, you may not have anybody interested in reading your business plan. So let's talk about the elements of the executive summary. You want to make sure that your executive summary, let's go back to the executive summary page, sorry. The executive summary, you want to make sure that it answers some questions. Does your basic concept make sense? Has your business been thoroughly planned? Is the management team capable? Is there a clear-cut market need for your product or service? What advantages do you have over your competition? Are your financial projections realistic? Is the business likely to succeed? Will investors be able to make money? Will lenders be able to get their money back? These are questions that you will answer in the executive summary, and your executive summary will be the key to the rest of the business plan being read. Next slide, please. Your company description. The company description provides the basic details about your business, provides background information about your company structure, the ownership, the developments to date. You're going to discuss relevant information about your industry. You must demonstrate a deep understanding of your industry, and that's important to potential investors, partners, or clients. You're going to go into detail about the problems that your business solves. You want to be specific as to audience and location. List out the consumers, organizations, or businesses that your company plans to serve. Definitely want to emphasize the competitive advantage that you have that will make your business successful. Do you have experts on your team? Have you found a perfect location? Your company description is the place that you're going to boast about your strengths, right? This section provides a glimpse of what's going on in your industry. You offer an overview of your industry. That's particularly important if your industry has any challenges or has any new developments. You want to show that you understand this market, and you want to show that your company has the structure, the ownership, and the developments to compete and be successful. So it's a very important section. Next slide, please. Your target market. Your success is going to ride on your ability to meet the needs and the desires of your customers. You have to identify these customers, not the specific people or the businesses, but the types of customers you expect to serve. This is going to be your target market. Your goal in this section is to assure your readers that these customers exist, that you know exactly who they are and what they want, that there are enough of these customers out there to support your business. There's enough market share for you to get. You have to also assure your readers that they're ready for what you have to offer and that customers are actually going to buy what it is you are trying to sell them, right? You want to paint a clear and detailed portrait of your customers, who they are, where they're located, how they think, why they buy, what they want. And this is going to make it easier for you to respond to their needs. And this is going to make the reader of your business plan convinced that you know how to make money by targeting a specific market, that you understand your customers, because selling to your customers, targeting your customers, is more about psychology than it is about luck or having a great product. Knowing your customers, knowing your market is key. There are some websites out there that allow you to understand your target market, such as census.gov and other government sites like that, that will give you some research so you can better understand your market. Just like you go to a neighborhood and you see multiple gas stations or multiple grocery stores, that's because they've relied on the same statistics to choose those locations. They know their target market. There's clustering sometimes. Why? Because they've done the research. They know that the market is there. And you must do the same. Understand and paint this clear picture that you know your market and that you're zeroing in on it. Next slide, please. The competition. As with everything in life, there's competition. In sports, in business, there's competition. No matter what type of business you own or you're planning to start, other companies are going to want your customers, right? The fact that there's any competition that exists means that you must have tapped into some kind of a viable market that has customers that want to buy whatever goods or services that you are selling. You have to understand your competition. Distinguish yourself from them. Identify those factors that are going to make customers choose your offerings over theirs. Respond to the needs that aren't currently being addressed by your competition. Figure out what you're up against and be prepared to tackle those competitive obstacles so you can be successful. The words, "we have no competition," that doesn't exist, right? There's always competition. And if for some reason there's no competition, you might not be in the right business. Just as important as knowing your competition is learning from your competition. Watch what your competitors are doing right and wrong so you can learn from that. That's going to show you how to better serve your market. Your potential customers are going to pay attention to your weaknesses, so be honest with yourself. Seek out your competition, see what their weaknesses are, and try to make sure you don't copy them in what they've done wrong or how they've perhaps mistreated customers or their shortfalls in inventory or whatever it is that they're doing that is not working, you want to learn from. And the things that they're doing that work, you obviously want to learn from that as well. There are two types of competition out there. You've got direct competition. Those are the companies that are offering products or services that are much like yours, like a McDonald's and a Burger King. Then you've got your indirect competition, companies that are offering products or services that are different from yours, but that meet the same need, right? Like a TV advertisement versus a radio advertisement, or train ticket versus an airline ticket. They basically solve the same need, but they do it differently. They have a different approach. So you've got direct competition and indirect competition, and you have to be conscious of both. And you must differentiate yourself from all the competition, not by necessarily being better. Being better is great, but we want to differentiate with our style, our personality, our approach, our take on a particular method, how we do things, our customer service. We want to beat our competition in all of those areas. It's so easy to say, I'm just going to be better, but you really must analyze all of the elements that make a successful business and all of the elements that bring a successful business down. You must know them, study them, and be wary of them. Next slide, please. Your marketing and sales plan. You know that you have a good product or a good service, but you can't convince customers to buy it, right? That's the problem for some entrepreneurs. And this is where a good marketing and sales plan comes in, or a good strategy. It's going to describe your plans for spreading the word about your product or your service and how you're going to sell it to the customers, right? Investors and lenders, when reading your business plan and looking at this section, they want to see that you have a realistic, cost-effective marketing approach, right? To inform the potential customers out there about your product or your service and the benefits that you're offering them. They want to see that you have an effective sales force. You can't sell everything on your own. You can't get the word out all by yourself. You need soldiers. You need help, right? They also want to see an appropriate sales techniques and methods. How are you going to tackle this problem? What are the methods and techniques that you're using to make those sales, right? One thing that we must be clear of is the difference between marketing and sales. They're very closely related, but they have different functions. Marketing activities are what make your customers aware of your product and your service and the benefits it offers, right? Marketing activities such as, advertising or print, radio, TV, those are marketing documents, marketing your product. Marketing activities such as trade shows and exhibitions, those are all examples of marketing. Now, sales activities are the direct interactions that you have with those customers to solicit and get those orders, make those immediate sales, right? Those sales activities are anything from in-person sales at a customer's home or a place of business, or you've got telemarketing or e-commerce, direct mail, online, selling merchandise in person or at a store, a trade show. Those are sales activities. So while sales and marketing are often said together, they do have some subtle differences, right? So we want to make sure to understand the difference. Now, in your marketing and sales plan, obviously you want to talk about how you're going to spend those marketing dollars. Websites, brochures, internet advertising, email newsletters and blogs, social media, print media, broadcast media, joining networking groups, public relations, direct mail. You have to let them know that you understand how you're going to get the word out so you can sell your product and your services. Very key. Next slide, please. Operations. Very important. How are you actually going to run your business? The operations section of your business plan briefly describes how you're going to execute those basic functions of your company, the manufacturing or the creating of that product or service, keeping on top of your inventory, delivering your product or service to your customer, right? And again, emphasize operational aspects or anything that gives you a competitive advantage, a competitive edge. Let people know. Operational aspects of your business plan include, location and facilities, production and manufacturing processes, equipment and technology, inventory management, cost controls and purchasing, quality control, and of course, customer service, right? Very important. The elements of your operation plan are going to break down the location and the facilities, the place where you're going to set up shop. That obviously affects your ability to do business. So that's key. The production and quality control, right? Every business is going to have a production process. So what are those methods? How do you get the product or the service to the customers and deliver it in an effective way, in a safe way? Inventory control. How do you manage those levels? That is going to impact your bottom line. Supply and distribution. Who do you rely on to provide you with the goods that are coming into your company? And who do you rely on to help get those goods to the customers? Those are all important questions that sometimes people neglect. Order fulfillment and customer service, right? How do we get it to our customer? What are the packaging, the shipping, the warehouse systems? We need to know those elements. Equipment and technology. What type of equipment and technology are you using? Maybe it's state of the art. We want to know this as a reader. And financial control systems. Do you have procedures in place to make sure that the finances are handled promptly and accurately, right? That's key. Do you have a system that prevents fraud, right? We want to make sure. So those are very important questions that we must answer. Next slide, please. Management structure. Interestingly enough, even though the executive summary is perhaps the most important, sometimes readers of a business plan will turn directly to the management section first. They want to know who's going to be running this operation, who's running the shop. Investors and lenders want to know, they want to be assured that this company is going to be managed by competent leaders, right? So you've got to show in this section that key members of your staff are qualified to run the business. You want to show that you understand what additional staff, if any, might be necessary, especially if you're talking about growing. You got to make sure that your staffing levels and the roles that you have assigned are appropriate, sufficient to achieve the results that you've stated you want to achieve. You've make sure that you've turned to qualified outside advisors when necessary. And when you put that in your business plan, that you have advisors, that you have people who are reputable and are experts assisting you, advising you, that obviously goes a long way, and that makes people feel comfortable about getting involved with you. If I am a potential investor and I see that you have an advisor who is well known in this industry, it's going to make me more comfortable investing with you because I know you will have the type of guidance and support that's needed to be successful. And so that's key. If you know or are affiliated with organizations or people that are going to help you in your functions, your everyday duties, your management structure, even if they're in an advisory capacity, you must include that. And when you describe each individual, make sure you tell us what their role is in the company, what their past experience or education might be that qualifies them for this job, maybe what past successes they've had, what are their key professional and personal strengths, and what, if any, is their personal financial investment in the company, right? What skin do they have in the game, perhaps? Next slide, please. Your financials. Your financials, very important. The financials you can break down into probably 4 key elements that you want to include. You want to absolutely have an income statement. This is going to show whether your business is profitable. This is also called a profit and loss or a P&L. You certainly want to have a cash flow projection. This is going to indicate whether you'll have enough money to pay your bills. You want to have a balance sheet that shows the value of your company, your total assets, and your liabilities. And of course, if you're seeking financing, you're going to want to show sources and use of funds. Explain where the money that you need to run your company is coming from, including your own pocket, and the ways that you intend to use it. Right. So these act as a summary of your entire financial picture. And so they give a snapshot. You also may want additional documents such as a break-even analysis, capital expenditures, inventory, a professional services budget. But again, all business plans are different and every entrepreneur is going to be at a different stage. So you may not have some of those documents, but you will try in your financials section to give as clear of a picture of how you're going to make money, spend money that is loaned to you. You're going to demonstrate how you're going to be a success. And you're going to show that you're going to maintain this over a period of years. The financial documents you include tell a story of a healthy company or a company that perhaps has some problems and issues. Hopefully, it tells the story of a company that going into the future has a healthy understanding of how it's going to make money, spend money, invest money, and grow. And that concludes our presentation of a business plan. Again, a very powerful document that all entrepreneurs must have. And the better your business plan, perhaps the better and greater the opportunities to succeed, partners, investors, all of that may grow with a strong business plan. So thank you, Matthew. Thank you for having me and thank you for listening.
Thank you, brother, man. Great. I think you slow walked it perfectly, very detailed. I love how you offered commentary on each section. We hope that you were taking notes throughout. Please rewatch and view the slides as well. I just want to ask you one question as I stop sharing here. The business plan that you create as an entrepreneur, is that like a one and done type of thing, or
no? It is
talk about that.
Business plan should be a living, breathing document, right? Because your business hopefully will grow, will change. You will encounter different obstacles. Different things will happen in your market, right? Which will force you to make some adjustments and some changes. Just like a sports team calls an audible on a play, they see something is different and they change the play. So your business plan may change because a couple years from now, your industry might change. Or a couple years from now, you may decide to add more to your offerings or take away. You might streamline, you might add more. Your business plan is going to reflect those changes, right? You may seek further funding. Why do you need that funding? What are you going to do with it? You're going to update that in your business plan. So the business plan is going to move, change, and grow with you as your business grows.
And then how helpful is it as an exercise? You know, you talked about changing it as you move forward, but how helpful is it as an exercise to just revisit some of the things that you put in the plan? Maybe, you know, to remember what you thought you wanted to do and things like that.
Say that again. I'm sorry about like.
Yeah. So I would just
Rephrase
say,
that for me.
yeah, I would just add to it, you know, in addition to what you just said, I think it's a living, breathing document because you want to go back and look at what you thought you intended to do. Maybe you want to revisit the plan for yourself. That's kind of
That's
what I
right.
want. The business plan is for you.
Yes. Yes, it is. The business plan, you are certainly going to present it to an investor or partner at certain stages in your entrepreneurial journey. But like you said, that document is for you to guide you, keep you on track. It's almost like a workout plan, right? You know how to do push-ups and sit-ups, but your workout plan says, I'm doing 20, I'm doing 10, I'm doing it. It keeps you on track. The business plan keeps you on track. You know what you're trying to do. You know your goals, your vision, and it's broken down for you so you follow it.
Love it. Excellent. Man, Karim, I'm going to just share one slide. You saw Kareem's contact information. I just wanted to share the contact information for our team here at the Illinois Office of Minority Economic Empowerment. You see myself, my name is Matt Simpson. I'm the African American Business Development Manager. You see Deanna Alfaro, who is the Latinx Business Development Manager, and Michelle Laura White, who's the Women's Business Development Manager. So this is one half of the Business Basics Collaborative, the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment. On the other side, we have Brother Kareem and all of the great people at the Illinois SBDC network throughout the state. With that, we want to thank you for tuning in, and be sure to check out all of the videos that we have in the Business Basics series. With that, I'll tell you, have a great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Matthew.